Now we're going to talk about some different options for filtering in Access. You can see up here on the toolbar that here is the filter function, and we have some more advanced filtering options here as well. And so we'll go through a variety of ways that we can do filtering. Now note that when we filter in Access, that we are temporarily isolating a subset of records to satisfy some criteria that you specify. We're not deleting any records, we're just changing our view of the records. So I'm going to choose to filter to only show the rows where the quantity is greater than 10,000. And there's a number of ways to do this, but one way is I can actually just click on that value in the spreadsheet, and I can right click, and there'll be a variety of filtering options. And let's see, I think I said greater than or equal to 10,000. I could choose to do that. I could also choose to go back to that value. I'm going to clear the filter. And this time I'm going to choose less than or equal to 10,000 to match what is in the PowerPoints. And you can see that I have 72 records that are less than or equal to 10,000. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear that filter. And I'm going to do a similar type of filtering on the supplier. And this time I'm going to choose to focus on Hulky Fastener. And I'm going to right click. And I'm going to choose to only show rows that actually exclude Hulky Fasteners. You can see I have some different filtering options here. So does not contain Hulky Fasteners. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear that filter. All right, now another way to do filtering, I've been choosing values within particular cells, but I can also come up to the column header and right click, and I'll see some options. I have all of the values in that column listed here, and right now they're all selected. I can uncheck that box, and then I can just select from here the value that I'm interested in. Perhaps I want to see all rows with Hulky Fasteners. I could opt to look at multiple values, but for this example I'm going to only look at Hulky Fasteners, so I'll select OK. And now I only see the observations with Hulky Fastener as the supplier. And this is helpful, especially when I want to see the number of observations where Hulky Fastener is the supplier, and I can look down here and see the number of records associated with that particular supplier. Note that I could continue to use this method if I wanted to drill down even further into the data. Maybe I only want to see observations where the supplier is Hulky Fastener, and then also the cost is some particular value, let's say 95 cents. All right, and so now I've drilled down even further into the data. I've applied 2 filters at once. I'm going to go ahead and clear those filters. Let's look at another example working with the auto filter. I'm going to go back to item cost and right click, and I can see that I have all the particular values, but note that I can also choose this option called number filters. And here I can choose an equals to, not equal to, less than, greater than, or between. Let's go ahead and find observations where the item cost is $200 or greater. So $200 and OK. And there we go. A nice feature of the auto filter is that it is customized for each field type. Let me go ahead and clear this filter. Before I do that, just look at the options for the number filters. And now let's take a look at a different field type, date. And let's right click and take a look at the date filters. And you can see that it has some filters that are specific to date. And then when we go to text, back to text, let's right click. And text filters, we have some different options for text. Begins with, ends with, etc. So those are some smart filtering options that can be helpful to us in Access. Something to be mindful of when you're working with filtered data is that, again, we're not deleting any of the data, it's just hiding in the background. So let's say that I did only want to work with the Hulky fastener data. I'm going to go ahead and isolate to just Hulky fastener. All right, now the spreadsheet still contains all of the data. So if I wanted to just work with this particular data set, I could copy and paste it. I can click in the square to highlight everything, do a Control-C for copy, and I can move it into another spreadsheet and a Control-V. If you want to work with that data alone, you could actually paste it into several different types of documents, another Access table, an Excel spreadsheet, Microsoft Word, or PowerPoint would be some other Microsoft options you could use to work with the data that you have filtered.